We're back around to another Monday. I have the camera, I have my microphone, I have the light, I have my tea, and that's about all I've got. I do hope you enjoyed the little excursion over the past 2 Mondays into source material that really not only fires up my general creativity and desire to direct a film, but which fires up my desire to direct those specific books and a couple of plays and turn them into films. If an offer came along for any one of those things, if somebody said, we have the budget, we'd like you to direct, I would say yes, absolutely. And then there are films that fire up my imagination as well. Of course, the big one that we've talked about here in this journal is The Shape of Water, and that was the one that gave me the big kick in the pants on February 13th, 2018. And this past February 13th, I sat down with my wife. I think it actually was the 14th. I started it on the 13th for kind of a 7-year anniversary viewing because I haven't seen it since 2018. And then I thought, well, let's just see if Mrs. Johnson would like to watch. So we had a lovely evening. Lovely for the most part. There are a couple very painful moments in that film where people get shot or attacked in some way. And Guillermo del Toro actually said once in an interview, I thought it was interesting, he said, most films make pain too clean. He likes, he doesn't revel in gore and such, but when a film needs some violence, he wants it to be painful. He said once when he was a young kid, he was, I think, don't quote me exactly, but he was jumping off a fence or something like that, and he landed wrong, and the fence post, or maybe it was a rake, something actually went up and jabbed through his armpit, and he said it was killer. And that's why in a couple of films now, there have been characters who have been run through the armpit, or they've been hurt in that way. He does like to find interesting and definitely painful ways for people to get hurt in his films. So there's some of that. So there was some of my wife looking away. She has a very she has a low tolerance for on-screen pain and violence. But she found it interesting. I don't know if she was intrigued in quite the same way I was. In watching it the second time, I believe it still holds up, but I think for me twice now was satisfactory. I don't think I'd have an interest in watching it a third time. Which, as I said way back when I first presented this, it wasn't the film itself really that got me going. I mean, it was something about the craft of the film, not the story itself. It's not the kind of movie that I want to own and watch again and again and again. But seeing it one more time was enjoyable. Anyway, the hope was that during those past 2 Mondays, in between the 3-week period now, between the last update and now, I would have something to report. And I really don't. And I guess that is, in a way, something to report. The idea that I am having a really hard time getting on top of just life, and currently being a one-man show for this production. I can definitely see, I mean, I always knew it in my head, but I am experiencing firsthand the value of having, a producer, an assistant director, just in my case, even a second person who lived nearby. We could have meetings and we could assign, okay, you call this person, you call that person, send out those emails. Here's what I want to do. Because it's just not, right now it's not clicking. I got more done in 2024. I have technically now been making this movie for a year. Somewhere in February, I got the first interview on camera. And so it's been a year. And I'm really hoping that by the end of 2025, I have something. I'd love for it to be done. I would love to be able to say, I've got it. Here it is by 11:59, December 31st, p.m. I will consider it a win if I have a solid rough cut. Like it may not be that the audio may not be mixed beautifully. We may not even have a score yet, a music score for where music is needed. But we've got all the interviews, we've got all the sound bites, we've filmed all of the scripted portions, we've put it together. There is a film here to look at and make notes on the tweaks to make in 2026. I'd love to be that. So like an advanced rough cut, an almost done rough cut. And Hollywood probably has a term for that. But I don't know what it is. So I cannot use the professional term if I do not know it. So yeah, between, just having to earn a living, and pay the bills and get some things done that are required here. I mean, you can probably still see hints of it. I don't dare move because behind me, I'm sure there's a lot of messy junk. I haven't had time to clean my office. There's always something. There's always something. This is by no means an admission of defeat or giving up. Among other things, I have already spent other people's money on this thing. And so I have got to push ahead. I have got to do everything I can do to make it happen. So in the coming days, it means finding everything in my life that is not or should not be a priority. An idea pops in my head, I could do that real quick. I said, no. Whatever it is, just if it doesn't involve financial profit for the family needs, if it doesn't involve actually being a part of my family's life, I would call a game night with my family a good thing, and I would say that my family actually takes priority over the film. So I can't afford to just wake up, work on the film for 16 hours, and go to bed and ignore my wife and kids. So financially providing, and then being a part of the family life. And there are some things that I do need to finish in the video editing world, past projects, things that are due, things that are overdue, that I can't just put aside, but I can see if I can work them in and work on everything and find that balance. But anything that isn't at this point helpful for advancing the film, I just need to say, I can't do that. I have some people would call it, a form of rest and relaxation, a little recovery. I have a tendency to go to boardgamesarena.com and spend an hour playing, whatever I'm in the mood for, Ticket to Ride or Next Station London. Both of those games, by the way, I recommend. But I need to learn to just say, no, that's an hour where you could be advancing the film in some way. So that is something I definitely need to do. Now, I have taken small steps toward the next element, the next phase, the next module. I need to recruit more men to be interviewed for this film. And summer is coming up, which means it will be good weather for getting over the mountains to Portland and Eugene, getting up into Vancouver, Washington, even as far as Seattle, Washington. And sorry, I had chocolate chips as a snack before starting this thing, and that was a bad idea because I'm getting all phlegmy. But so what I want to do is I want to create a little video. It's not really a trailer for the film. It's a recruitment piece that in this video, about 2, maybe 3 minutes long, it will explain what I'm doing and why I'm looking for help and what kind of help I'm looking for. And then I can send that out to the people I've discovered on Instagram, Facebook, people I happen to know, live nearby. If I encounter someone in person, if they email saying, so tell me more, I can show them the video. And that will do a couple of things. One, I think it'll be a lot more interesting than just reading a typed email or a typed message on Facebook or Instagram or wherever. And it will also lend credibility to it, because I think what I'm getting a lot of is people not realizing how real this is and how serious I am. I do want this to happen. I want it to be a reality. I only need, a half hour of their time actually being interviewed, probably an hour of their time setting up the lights and microphone and all of that. But I think if there's a video, especially a video including clips from the interviews I've already done, people will see this is real, it is moving forward, it is legitimate. It's legitimacy, I think, is another issue. I know there is a young man at the place where I work. He's 17. 17 is old enough for what we're doing here. My lowest age is 16. And of course, if you're 16 or 17, you're a minor and you need your parents to sign the talent release form that anybody needs to sign to be in a film. And this young man is interested, but he said his parents thought it was kind of sketchy. So I need to get past that kind of sketchy a mentality that undoubtedly some people have had when I've approached them about it. If you get unfortunately, it's the world we live in. If you get a DM from a total stranger on your fitness account, you're a personal trainer, you're a fitness model over in Portland, and your entire Instagram account is photos of you at the gym flexing with your shirt off, and this guy you don't know sends you a direct message saying, "Hey, I'd like to put you in a movie." I do understand why they would think it was sketchy. I get that. Somehow I have to get past that that onus, that the aura, the negative aura, I guess. That's a hip term going around right now, according to my daughters. I have to get past that. And so I think I need to take the footage I have and show people this is legitimate. And also assure people if they have any concerns about it, they're welcome to bring someone to the interview. It's a third party, a witness. I have no problem with that whatsoever. In fact, if anybody who gets interviewed is under 18, I would like a parent to actually come be a part of it. Or, if I go to their house, the parent really should be home while I do the interview. I'm all for caution and stuff. I think back, I am kind of just rambling here. That's really all I have for you this week. I am all for, after the Harvey Weinstein ordeal of several years ago and learning more about how films are made, the idea of meeting an actress or a 17-year-old boy in a hotel room, I would feel wrong. I would tell him, bring someone with you. If you feel in the slightest bit uncomfortable, if you're 18 or older and you feel the slightest bit uncomfortable, bring someone with you. If you're 17 or 16, I will not meet you unless you bring someone with you. Anyway, okay. So all that to say, it's been a bumpy 2025. 2024, I can't pretend was some kind of amazing year of endless progress, and I have thousands of hours of interview footage to wade through. But I did make progress in 2025 and in 2024. And 2025, I feel like the wheels of the bus are stuck in the mud. And yeah. So what I'm going to do tomorrow, I think I am busy down in Bend editing a project for another guy. But what I hope to do by the end of this week is have that recruitment module ready so that I can really start sending it out, so I can get on top of the summer season coming up. There's a bodybuilding club over in Eugene. They're starting to do their fat loss, their cutting phase, so that they can be in their best shape for their shows, their competitions. I want to get on top of that. I want to be able to email all these people that I really can't get to in winter because of snow in the mountains, and plan ahead so that when it's good weather, when it's time, I have people lined up, hopefully multiple people in each city, so I can go to Portland for 2 days and get a bunch of interviews, and then Eugene for 2 days, and you get the idea. I'm out of time. I will talk to you next week.